I'm Maciej Ogrodniczuk. I'm representing Polish resources and particularly the Institute of Computer Science, Polish Academy of Science from Warsaw. Adam Przepiórkowski, who you may be familiar with, could not be here. He's in Turkey now, so I will try to stand in for him. So the language scene in Poland stands on three legs, and three pillars, and they are the research centers, the industry players, and the open source community. So starting with the research centers, they are scattered all over Poland. They cover to some extent same areas, but they also have specialties. So I would like to show you using the long and boring lists of tools and resources we are making available, these specialties, just to let you have an overview of who is doing what to promote cooperation. So the most prominent, I would say, language research center in Poland is the Institute of Computer Science, Polish Academy of Sciences, which happens to be my place of employment. Starting with some basic tools such as lemmatizers, tokenizers, morphological analyzers or taggers, we are now developing, or we have developed, because these tools are available now. Also the parsers, both shallow and deep, and some more clever tools such as valence dictionaries, and some tools that are being under preparation that go to the semantic level. Our latest project, which ends, it ended in mid-June, was the National Corpus of Polish. That's a huge, I would say, 1 billion size corpus with a 1 million sub-corpus that's manually annotated and verified with the Inter-Annotation Agreement principle. So that's what's available now, and in the next 1 or 2 years there will be even more resources available, the better versions of the existing ones, and some more going into this semantic level. So the what sense disambiguation systems or coreference resolvers are on their way, are being financed. For example, the coreference resolution project is financed on the national level. Apart from our institutions, there are more out there, and the second one, which happens to be our partner in CESAR, is the University of Łódź, quite famous for their work with parallel and comparable corpora, as well as information retrieval, information extraction topics, plus the spoken resources. So if you would like to deal with this kind of stuff, it's their specialty. In Warsaw, we don't have the spoken resources that proficient as they have in Łódź. So that's their place. Poznań and Wrocław are famous for their again, speech technology. It's Poznań, speech analysis, synthesis, speaker recognition. I will tell you in a moment how it extends to the business level, because there are successful companies founded by the university people that are selling their software quite successfully. Wrocław, in turn, is quite famous for the WordNet project. There is a Polish WordNet started in 2006 and now being developed with quite interesting technology of automated extraction of synsets from free text. Further places are Kraków, Gdańsk. Gdańsk is quite famous for the finite state technologies. We use them everywhere in Poland. And the University of Warsaw with Janusz Bień, who was what Marco was mentioning a while ago, concentrating on OCR, historical text, and all the tools that relate to Old Polish. And there is also a Polish-Japanese Institute of Information Technology that's also dealing with speech and is quite successful in founding a company that's called Prime Speech. So the two other legs of the language platform are the commercial companies, And the open source community, of course, I won't tell you everything about all these companies. That's just fields that you might be happy to look at if you would like to find something quite specific. So just a few notable examples. The first company, TIP, is quite known for providing spell checkers and grammar checkers for Microsoft products. So when you use Polish Office, it's TIP there. Ivona, the first one in the third bullet, is quite a successful software that can talk in Polish. So there was recently a contest between Ivona and Microsoft Speech, and well, Ivona was better. So it's quite a nice piece of software, and we gave them 6 in our language report, the only 6 we have so far. The machine translation, the Poland company is making quite successful Translatica system that's been used by Polish scientific publishers and uses the research people from Poznań University. As far as community things are concerned, we are quite active community, not only in language technologies, but especially the language people are quite active. Polish Wikipedia is quite known in the world, is now competing with Italian one for the 4th place, the number of articles, of quite good quality, that's also worth mentioning. We have created, the community people have created a general dictionary of Polish, that's this SJPPL. It's quite active, and the author of our language report, Maciej, is an author also of the language tool, that's Style and Spell and Grammar Checker, that's quite successfully used for many languages. It's now part of the Google Summer of Code for those of you who know something about that. So what's funny about that and what's good is that all 3 communities are interacting together, and the people from the universities are funding companies that are doing business quite successfully, and the people from the open source community are working together both with commercial players and with the universities. Maciej is one of the examples. We also participate in many European co-funded and nationally funded projects. These are just the European ones. The CESAR, of course, is our host here, and MetaNet, because CESAR is part of MetaNet. But there is also a nice project called Atlas advertised in one of the rooms there. Clarin and FLARNet are coming to their end, but I guess, well, the first phase of Clarin, of course, there will be continued on a national level, and we are now applying for funds, so they're not over by any means. I also wanted to show you something about the Polish resources that you can find in the language report, but the tables are quite large, and probably some extra must be made to present it in a more palatable way. So I made 2 tables that may show you the real status of what we have and what we have not. So with the basic resources, as you can see, the basic technologies, we are quite proficient, we are happy with them, and the 5 and the 4 is quite okay for that. But at the bottom of the table shows us that the more advanced things like advanced discourse processing or summarization are still to be done. And summarization is now covered in Atlas, in the 2nd project on my list, and the advanced discourse technologies are now being covered by other national projects such as the Co-Reference Resolution Project. As far as resources are concerned, there are many corpora available, but still the discourse corpora or multimodal data are not really represented the way we would like them to be represented.